There was a man standing in the corner of my mom's bedroom, waving at me, slowly, like he wanted me to come closer. I was 4 years old. When Mom turned on the light, he vanished. Weeks later, we found out he'd been living inside our walls. You know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night and your mouth is so dry it hurts? That's what woke me up. I was 4, maybe 5 years old. My parents had just split up, and my mom moved us into this cramped 2-bedroom apartment in a part of town where car alarms went off every night. I had my own room, but I hated it. It always felt wrong. Cold drafts that didn't make sense, shadows that seemed too dark even with a nightlight on. That night, I padded down the hallway to my mom's room, my bare feet sticking slightly to the cheap linoleum. The apartment was quiet, except for the hum of the refrigerator and distant traffic outside. Mom's door was cracked open. I could see her asleep, curled up under the blankets, her breathing slow and steady. I stood there in the doorway, about to whisper her name. That's when I saw him, a tall man, standing in the corner of her room, right next to her closet. He was waving at me, not like a friendly wave, slow, deliberate, his hand moving back and forth, like he was trying to get my attention, like he wanted me to come over. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe. My legs felt like they'd been nailed to the floor. I don't know how long I stood there watching him wave, but it felt like forever. Finally, I managed to whisper, "Mom, there's a man in your room." She shot up like someone had shocked her, flipped on the bedside lamp. The corner was empty. She scrambled out of bed, checked the closet, under the bed, behind the door. She even checked the windows, all locked tight from the inside. "You had a nightmare, baby," she said, kneeling down and brushing my hair back. "There's nobody here." But I knew what I saw. The way his hand moved. The way he just stood there. That wasn't a dream. She tucked me back into my bed, kissed my forehead, told me everything was okay. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. A few nights later, I woke up thirsty again. I told myself not to go to her room, stay in bed, ignore it. But I was 4. I needed my mom. I crept down the hallway, my heart already racing before I even got to her door. And there he was again. Same corner, same slow wave. This time, I screamed. Mom tore out of bed, grabbed me, turned on every light in the apartment. They called the cops. They came, flashlights out, checked every room, every closet, every window. Nothing. Probably a shadow from the streetlight. Tricks your eyes at night, kiddo. But over the next few weeks, I'd hear sounds. Creaks coming from her closet. Not the settling house kind of creaks, the shifting weight kind, like someone was in there, trying to stay still. Mom started sleeping with the light on. I'd catch her staring at the closet door during the day, like she was waiting for it to open. One afternoon while I was at school, she decided to clean that closet properly, pull everything out, face whatever fear she'd been carrying. She dragged out old boxes, winter coats we didn't need, shoes she'd been meaning to donate. And then she saw it, a loose panel in the back wall. She told me later her hands were shaking so bad she almost couldn't pry it open. Behind the panel was a crawl space, small, but big enough for a person to fit inside. And it wasn't empty. Crumpled blankets, empty food wrappers, a flashlight, and a knife. Someone had been living in our walls. The police came back. This time they dusted for prints, checked the building's maintenance access. Turns out there was a way to get into the crawl spaces between units from the basement. The prints matched a local man with a history of break-ins and squatting. He'd been coming in and out, watching us, living in the space behind my mom's closet. That man I saw waving, that was him. He'd been coming out at night, watching my mom sleep. And when I showed up in the doorway, he waved, trying to lure me closer. We moved out that week, stayed with my aunt until Mom found us a new place. Years later, when I was older, Mom admitted something to me. She'd heard breathing sometimes, at night, soft, but there. She thought it was the pipes, told herself it was nothing. But she knew, deep down, she knew. I still think about it sometimes. What if I'd walked over to him that first night? What if I'd been curious instead of scared? Was he just watching us? Or was he waiting for the right moment?